encounter with my husband's side chicks. A true story. My name is Maria Johnson, and this is my encounter with my husband's side chicks. To the world, we were the picture of a perfect couple, adored, admired, envied. Friends often spoke about how lucky I was. My husband and I had everything: a thriving marriage, bright children, successful businesses, and laughter that filled our beautiful home. Although my business often took me out of town, the love between us never wavered, or so I believed. He was attentive, thoughtful, and affectionate. I never once suspected betrayal, not from him. He was far too focused, too disciplined, too loving. He was the kind of man people called too busy for nonsense. I trusted him completely. Then life happened. My husband suffered a massive stroke. The doctors said he survived it only because of his regular medical checkups, but survival came at a steep cost. He was left partially paralyzed, wheelchair-bound, and completely dependent on others for even the simplest tasks. My life turned upside down. The burden was immense, physically, emotionally, and financially. The domestic staff helped, but there were personal things they couldn't or wouldn't do for him. I suspended my business and took over his care. I bathed him, changed his diapers, cleaned him after he urinated or defecated, and attended to his business calls as much as I could. My husband, once vibrant and strong, had become what some might cruelly call a vegetable. I was exhausted. My days bled into nights, and sleep became a luxury. But I endured because I loved him. I believed he deserved my devotion. Then, one evening, while handling his phone, checking for medical appointments and business messages, I stumbled on a chat thread. A woman named Vera. Her WhatsApp display photo showed a stunning, glamorous woman. My heart skipped, curious, then horrified. I read through the chat history. Their affair had lasted over 2 years. They'd met multiple times, in hotels, in restaurants, even in our home while I was away. The betrayal twisted my stomach. The worst part, the money. He had sent her more money than he had given me in 2 years. Shaking, I dug deeper. There wasn't just Vera. There were 5 women. 5. All of them had received generous gifts, transfers, vacations. All while I broke my back taking care of a man who had once shared his life and body with so many women. Rage, pain, disbelief. All of it boiled inside me. I wanted to scream, confront him, destroy something. But he sat there on the wheelchair in the living room, motionless, helpless, and unaware that his sins had been laid bare. Confrontation felt meaningless. I took some time to write down all their names and peculiar details. Then, in my anger, an idea formed, a wild, absurd, almost comical idea. I dismissed it at first, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Why should I carry this burden alone? 6 of us had enjoyed his time, his money, his body. So why was I the only one cleaning his waste? The next day, I reached out to Vera, impersonating my husband. "Hello, Vera. It's been a while," I typed. She responded with eager enthusiasm. She thought payday had come again. She missed him. She asked about me, his wife, and I replied that I had traveled. She tried to call, but I discouraged it, insisting we stick to text. To maintain the illusion, I lifted old lines from their chat history, She bought it. We arranged a meeting at my house. I alerted the estate security to let her in without questions. I sent the domestic staff away for the day, told them I wanted some privacy from the control room. I watched through the CCTV as Vera walked in, her heels clicking confidently on the marble floor. Then she saw him, my husband, slumped in his wheelchair, unable to move, unable to speak clearly. Her smile vanished. Confusion turned to fear. Both of them were shocked. Before she could retreat, I locked the smart doors from the control room. Then I stepped out. The color drained from her face when she saw me. I told her everything, that I had been the one chatting her, that I knew all about the affair, the money and the hotel rooms, and that I wasn't angry. She was simply here to do her fair share of caring for him now that he needs us the most. She laughed nervously, thought I was joking. I wasn't. I've been doing the hard work. I told her, now it's your turn. Clean him, bathe him, and feed him. You've earned it. She refused at first, tried to argue. My husband made several failed attempts to argue for her or question my weird decision. Vera made several calls. I remained calm but firm. What she didn't know was that I was ready for her. I had trained in martial arts during university days. I had also informed a lawyer friend who advised against it. But I was resolute. Cameras were rolling. Friends were on standby. No one would harm her. But no one would save her either. Eventually, Vera gave in. She changed his diaper, bathed him, washed the toilet, mopped the floor, washed his clothes and dishes. I watched silently as she struggled with tasks I had done daily for months. She cooked the food. I made sure she did. I informed her she would eat from the food and that I was watching her on the cameras. That was to discourage any evil thought. When she was through, we ate in silence. She couldn't look up to face her lover. She was exhausted by evening. Her makeup had smeared, her hands wrinkled from water. She rejected the transport fare I offered her and later blocked my husband on all platforms. 1 down, 4 to go. One by one, I invited all 5 of them. One of the women threatened to call the police, but I reminded her again she came voluntarily and would have to explain her reasons in court. She relented. Another tried to fight me. I didn't strike her, but I overpowered her easily, reminding her she could spend the whole weekend here if I wanted. One of the people she called encouraged her to do the work and leave in peace. When she still resisted, I made her do double the chores. She murmured endlessly, but stopped when she heard me telling someone on the phone she would be here till the next week. The last 2 were surprisingly gracious. One laughed the whole time, joking about karma and how life teaches hard lessons. Her name was Joyce. She even offered to return the next weekend just to help. We became friends. About a year later, when my cousin in Canada needed a wife, I match-made them. They got married, and she moved abroad. We still talk often. Life is strange like that. It's been nearly 10 years since then. My husband later recovered fully. Our relationship now is complicated. Forgiveness comes in waves. Some days I manage, other days I don't. But whenever I remember that chapter of my life, I smile, not out of bitterness, but with a quiet sense of justice. After all, why should I have suffered alone?